Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you. Good evening. Yeah, good evening, Prakash. Good evening, Smriti.
Ma'am, can you try turning on your video also? It's not visible
Yes,
yet.
I'll just do that.
Yeah, okay. Also, we are live now.
Yes, I can turn on my video now. Yeah, I can do that.
Right.
Yes, good evening. Good evening. Sumaya, very good evening to you. Ajay, good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you to my session. I'm good. Thank you for asking. And how are you? Yes, Subhashini, thank you so much. Yes, Veena, good evening. That's good. So you all are doing great. Very good. Had your lunch? I'm sure you all have finished your lunch and completely free from everything to attend the session today for writing hacks. Yes, Mehek. Okay, very good. Yes, Preeti, thank you so much. Very good evening to you. Okay. It's so good to see so many of you join the session. It's wonderful. Well, this is a live session today, Lakshmi. This is for writing hacks for 7+ band, and we're going to have a very focused session today. So some very thought-provoking activities lined up for you all. Okay, good evening. Yes, Shiva, good evening. Okay. So we have lots of people join there. I'm good, Ishwar. Thank you so much. And how are you? Okay, Hema, you're preparing for your general training. Well, this is going to come in handy for you as well, Hema, because task 2, writing task 2 is the same for everybody. We are going to focus on task 2. Yes, hi, Jala. Sure, Amandeep, we will do that. I will do all the explanation later. Just wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start off with the session, right? Yes. Okay, it seems everybody is eagerly looking forward to this session, and lots of you. What about you all? Do you find writing a challenge? Your exam, Aisha, her exam is on the 19th. So yes, certainly this session is going to be very, very useful for you. Do you find the writing? My question is, do you find writing a little bit of a challenge? Okay, yes, most of you. Yeah, I know writing is a productive skill and quite challenging for many people. Yeah, getting a band 7+ is aspirational for many. Isn't that so? Okay, Bobby says, I love writing, but I do some grammatical errors. Okay. Yes, we all make grammatical errors sometime or the other, but of course we need to be very conscious of all this, because this is also one of the parameters, but this is also one of the things that the examiner is looking for in your essay. Well, Ganesh, I can see your chat. You are all talking to me for now, so I can see your chat, right? Okay. Yes, Aisha, you are aiming at 8+ band, then this session is certainly going to be very useful for all those people who are aiming at more than 7, right? Let's start the session. Certainly, we are going to start the session. We've had this, introductory thing, and we know everybody out here is eagerly looking for some writing hacks for 7+ band. So let's move on. And now I will just give a brief introduction about myself. So, yeah. Okay, let me tell you a little about myself before we start. So I am Shifa Nandi. I'm a trainer at LeapScholar, educator at LeapScholar. I have more than 10 years of experience in teaching IELTS, TOEFL, and ELP courses. I'm a certified TEFL trainer that's teaching English as foreign language, and that means that I'm certified to teach English all around the world. I am also Cambridge certified for advanced skills in teaching IELTS. Along with all this, I also take soft skills and business communication. So, well, in a span of more than a decade, I have trained more than 8,000 students of mine, and I hope to include you all in my number too. Well, that's about me, and I just want to know a little about my audiences. I will address all your questions. Let's just kickstart your session. I know you have lots and lots of questions here in your mind, but we will stay focused on what we are doing here. So let's just, see our agenda in the next few slides, what our agenda for today's session is. But prior to all that, I would first like to know a little about you, because I want to know something about you as my audiences so that I can move ahead and give you more tips, right? Okay, yes, Mohammed, you have your exam on 25th. So you must really pay attention to what is going to happen in this session and learn more to incorporate, things, tips in your essays so that you can do the right things. So let's just move on and let's know our audiences a little bit. You all know about the IELTS test. How much do you know about the IELTS test? I'll just ask you a few questions and you use the chat box to quickly tell me. So yes. Okay, you're preparing for the AVA section. Shibashish, essays are all across are the same. So certainly, this is going to help you to a great extent. Yes, a very good evening to all of you. I want to know that how much you know about the IELTS test. So IELTS test, how many sections are there for the IELTS test? 4, very good. And what are they? The 4 sections, that's listening, reading, writing, speaking, right? So listening, reading, writing, and speaking, these are the 4 sections that you are tested on. So very good, that's great. And the writing section. So now let's have a small quiz because we are doing the writing. So naturally, we are going to focus on the writing only here, right? So let's just, let's just focus on the quiz now, a rapid fire round, quickly to know you as an audience, that how much you know about the writing section so that I can smoothly move ahead with what I want to take up in this section without just focusing on the unnecessary things which you already know about, right? So let's do a quick rapid fire round. And this is something like, questions that come in Coffee with Karan. But here, of course, I don't have any gift hamper to offer you, but I have a hamper of tips to offer you at the end. So let's have the first question. Yes. How long is the writing section? Use the chat box quickly to tell me. Okay, very good. 1 hour, 60 minutes. Yes, excellent. Prakash, Kajal, everybody got that right. Prerna, great, very good. The next question for you, very quick. It's a rapid fire round. How many tasks are there to complete? Very good, excellent. That's 2. Great. And which task has more weightage? Anybody knows which task has more weightage? Task 2, very good. Great, Sheetal, Bakar, Shalini, very good. Great. And which is task 2, by the way? Task 2 is the essay task. Great, very good. It is the essay task. How much time should you spend on task 2? Ideally, how much time should you spend on task 2? 40 minutes. Great, very good. Why 40 minutes? Because this has double the weightage. Like we just said, which task has more weightage? The second task. So it has double the weightage. So spend double the time on this task 2. That is your essay task. Yes. How many assessment parameters are there for writing task 2? 4. Very good. Any idea which are the assessment parameters? Well, it's content, it's organization, it's vocabulary and grammar, right? All, yes, of course, task achievement, that's coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and the grammatical range and accuracy, right? Very good. So there are 4 parameters based on which the examiner judges you on your essay, okay? Now, all these parameters, are they equally important? Are they equally important? Lexical resource is nothing but vocabulary, okay? We will understand the parameters, don't worry. All these parameters equally important? Yes, very good. All these parameters have 25% weightage. Okay, so that means whether it is your vocabulary, your grammar, your organization, or your content, all four of them have equal weightage in as far as your evaluation is concerned. So you can't ignore any one of them and focus on the rest. You have to focus on all of these to be able to get a high band. Okay, that's very important. Okay, now the topic for today is how to get a band 7 plus. That means more than 7 band in your writing. So that is the focus for today's session. So now let's just understand, is 7 plus band aspirational for you all? Are you aspiring for a band 7? How many of you are looking for more than a band 7? Great, very good. I see some people aspiring for 8, 8.5, 7, 7.5. Wonderful, more than 7. Very good. Certainly, it's aspirational for you all, and that's why you are here in this session. Very good, great. It's good to see that you all are aiming high. Yes, more than 7. Very good. Well, another thing I'd like to ask, many of you have told me already, that you're planning to take your test shortly. So whether you are planning to take your test shortly or in the coming few months, it's very important to practice a lot more. Do you think that improvements happen in writing overnight, or do you need to be persistent with your efforts? Yes. Do you need to be persistent. Yes, you need to put in a lot of efforts to improve and make improvements, because this is a productive skill. Writing is a productive skill. Practice is important. And that is what we are going to do today. We are going to do a lot of activities in the class, because no matter how much I speak, you will not be able to remember much, and you will not be able to implement in your essays. But once I make you do an exercise or an activity related to that, you will be able to remember forever. You will be able to have that in your mind forever. Okay. Okay, let's start with the next thing now. Have you seen this somewhere? Have you seen this somewhere? I'm sure most of you have seen this ugly little thing, this ugly little picture. You've seen this many a times on many of the websites. Well, this ugly little picture is the one that the examiner keeps in mind when he rates or evaluates your essay, right? And here is what we are. Well, we are here, right? We are going to look at something above this, okay, to understand 7 and above band. So why I call it ugly? And of course scary, because there's so much written in every column here, so much. So we keep wondering that, well, so much the examiner keeps in mind while rating my essay. Oh my God, I have to do so much. I have to incorporate so much in my essay. Well, let's just, now what is this basically? It's task response. Task response means nothing but your response to the question. Is it there? I mean, are you addressing the question? Then it is coherence and cohesion, right? So it is your coherence and cohesion here. That means, are the ideas properly organized? Lexical resource, it's just a fancy name for vocabulary. So just remember that some good words should be used to express your thoughts and ideas. And grammatical range and accuracy. Yes, hello Chanda, and welcome to the class. So we are underway. We've already started off with it. So, well, grammatical range and accuracy. Yes. So grammatical range and accuracy is nothing but grammar that you need to keep in mind when you are when you're writing your essay. So let's just make it, give a simplified version. Let me give you a simplified version, because many of you may not understand all these technical things which are written here in each one of the columns. So let me just make it very, very simple for you. Okay, so these are the bands simplified for you in simple language to explain you, because until and unless we know what the examiner is looking for in our essay, how can we make improvements and do the right things? Well, it's very important, isn't that so? It's important to know what to do in our essay. Before we proceed ahead, I'm still repeating, lots of activities, thought-provoking activities lined up for you today. This is just the beginning. I'm just explaining you a little bit about the bands, and then we move to the activities. It's going to be an exciting session, so stay tuned till the end. Okay, so let's look at the first point. Now, what I've done is, out of all those 4 columns, I picked up 7 pointers to simplify those points for you. And I am going to quickly give you an overview of what all these pointers are that you need to keep in mind, the do's and the don'ts. Okay, basically that's what we are looking at, so that you can incorporate that in your essay. Okay, and later we will pick them up in a focused manner and do some exercises related to that. Yes, we are looking at Naushid. We are looking at the preparation for writing task 2, hacks for getting a band 7+, right? So we are only focusing this session because there are lots and lots of videos on, general overviews, but then we need to focus on one of the sessions so that it can be a fruitful one. I want to give a fruitful session, not just an overview, right? I don't want to generalize today. I want to remain very focused. Okay, so, well, let's look at this. Present a clear position. Now, this is what the first thing that the examiner is looking for in your essay, that does your essay present a clear position throughout the response? Now, what does that mean? That means that you have to have a position with regard to the question, understand the question. So have you understood the question? This is what the examiner is trying to figure out from your essay. And then he's trying to figure out that what is your opinion about it? That means, what do you think about the question, right? Until and unless this is clear to the examiner will not be able to give you a high score as far as task achievement is concerned. Okay, the next thing, well, you just don't have to present your ideas. You also have to extend them. That means elaborate them. You have to support these ideas. Support these ideas with the help of examples. You need to explain the ideas and further give your experiences, share your experience in the form of an example. So don't overgeneralize, right? That's an important thing. Don't overgeneralize. Make it very focused, right? So are your main ideas clear? This is what the first thing the examiner is looking for in your paragraphs. And did you explain the main ideas? Have you explained them? Have you added some topic development to it? And then have you supported them with examples from your personal experience? That is also very, very important, right? Now let's look at the third thing. A very good afternoon to all of you who just joined. Yes, we are looking at writing hacks for a band 7+. So we are first trying to understand the band descriptors, because until and unless we understand them, we will not be able to move ahead and do the right things. So third pointer here, logically organize information and ideas. That's very, very important, to logically organize. So is your introduction effective? This is what the examiner is looking for. Are your body paragraphs effective enough? They can be understood easily with main ideas, one main idea in every paragraph. And then, is your conclusion clear? So is there a clarity about your conclusion, or you were just doing a U-turn and writing something else in your conclusion? If that is the case, your score will drop drastically, right? Have you used a range of cohesive devices? Now, cohesive devices, can anybody tell me what is cohesive devices? Anybody with any idea? Yes, anybody? Yes, Nitish, Naushid. Yes, very good. Linking words, connectors, excellent. Yeah, very good. Karthik, Prince, Jassi, excellent. Apurva, everybody is talking about the right thing. So my audience is very intelligent already. A lot of things that you already know. Yes, very good. Yeah, very good. Some people are giving me examples as well. Great. Marianjali, you have given me examples like moreover, although, very good. Very good. I'm quite impressed. Well, so I know that the activities are going to be very exciting for you, because my audience is already a very intelligent one and they are going to find them exciting. Okay. In addition to, meanwhile, very good. So that means all these, yeah, very good. So all these should be there in your essay. A lot of cohesive devices should be there and well placed. Okay, they should not be there without any purpose, but they should serve the purpose of joining your ideas and making them meaningful. In addition to, yes, Apurva, that's also right. And somebody is saying, firstly, initially, in addition to, meanwhile, very good. Okay, so all these were linking devices, so cohesive devices. Now let's look at the next pointer. Present a clear central idea in each paragraph. Now, that's very important thing. Do you think that you can write like, more than one main idea in one paragraph? Can you write more than one main idea in one paragraph? Yes or a no? No, you can't. Yes, Nitish, you can't. Yes, Jassi, Supreet, very good. Jassi, we can't write more than one main idea in one paragraph. We can only write one idea in one paragraph and then extend that idea. You need to further expand that idea. So this is what the examiner is looking for. So if you are cramping your paragraph with more than one main idea in your paragraph, that's not the right way. Your score is going to go down drastically. Okay. So does it have a clear topic sentence? Topic sentence is nothing but the main idea. So that has to be the first line of your body paragraph. It should not be somewhere in the middle or in the end. Rather, it has to be the first line of your body paragraph, right? Are the details of the topic development relevant? Now, many a times people wonder that, oh my God, I wrote a lengthy body paragraph and still I did not get, my paragraphs were very lengthy, but still I did not get a high score. Why is that? Because the ideas may not be relevant. The topic development may not be relevant to the main idea that you have presented. Sometimes your main idea goes in one direction and your topic development goes in the other direction. So no matter how much you've written, that does not add weight to your essay, right? Yes, of course, you need to elaborate with an example that is relevant. Very good. You all are saying the right things. Then the fifth pointer, the pointer number 5 from the band descriptors, from that ugly little page, we've picked up the fifth point to understand. Use a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some, precision and flexibility. Now, sufficient. What does that mean? Do you need to rote learn the entire dictionary to be able to get a high band in your essay? Yeah? Do we need to do that? No, we don't need to. We just need to have sufficient words. That means some people may think, oh my God, if I had to write in my native language, I would have written a great essay, but it's getting difficult in English. So what does that mean? Well, that means you don't have sufficient vocabulary. So you need to have enough words to discuss that topic. That is what you need to know, Yes, using good words is very important, but it's important to know that how to use them. Okay, the contextual use should be very clear to you. Okay, occasional errors. So the examiner, next thing that the examiner looks for is the occasional errors, whether they are occasional or frequent. If they are frequent, what happens? What happens when there are frequent errors? Your score goes down, it dips. So there should only be very occasional errors in your word choice and vocabulary. So that's what you need to know. Body paragraphs are the paragraphs that you build in order to support your argument, whatever your opinion is. Okay. Yes, you get low bands if there are frequent errors. So how many sentences have no vocabulary errors is what the examiner looks for in your essay, right? Now, the last one, but certainly not the least one. So last but not least is grammatical range and accuracy. Well, you need to produce frequent errors in sentence structure. So in sentences, so it's very important that there are no frequent errors. So if there are frequent errors, so how many sentences have no grammatical errors? So that is what, so frequent error-free sentences need to be constructed. So that means the examiner is going to see how many sentences are there which have no grammatical errors. If there are frequent ones, your score goes down, right? How many body paragraphs Supreet is asking? You all tell me. How many body paragraphs would be good? One question for all of you to think. How many body paragraphs do you think would be good? No, body paragraphs I'm asking. Not in all. Yes, Sarika, 4 or 5 would be the complete organization of the essay, but since we are talking about the body paragraphs, so it is 2 paragraphs is advisable, at the max 3 paragraphs if you feel the need for it, but usually to build a good argument 2 body paragraphs are enough. Okay, because there is a tendency for people to write off the topic when they just go on and on making numerous paragraphs. So please don't do that. Okay, in all, of course, you would have an introduction, two body paragraphs, and then your conclusion. So there would be 4 in all in the complete essay, right? Okay, now we have picked up 7 pointers from that page, for band descriptors. How many were there? How many were there? 7, right? 7 pointers. But would I be able to do justice if I discuss all those 7 in one class, in that 1 hour, 1 hour session? And would you be able to grasp all of it in one go? Yes or a no? Can you grasp all those? If I start teaching all of those 7 things, would you be able to grasp all that? Yes, Prince, Arshdeep, Sarika, Nitish, I need some answers from you all. Yes or a no? No, it's not possible because writing is challenging and you need patience, practice, persistence to be able to improve. So it is a slow process. We are going to focus on 2 pointers here, some 2 pointers for which we are going to do a lot of activities so that there in these 2 pointers, you are perfect by the end of the session. So you should have a good idea about these by the end of the session and be able to incorporate them in your essays. So stay tuned till the end to do all the exercises with me, activities with me. Are you there with me till the end to do the activities? Are you going to do the activities with me? Yes or no? Type yes if you are going to be there. Yes? Okay, great. Lots of people raising their hands and I'm just liking the energy, that is there in the class. Very good. Okay, so many of them, the numbers just increasing and everybody's saying yes, they are going to participate in all the activities because everybody's eager to learn, everybody's keen to learn the skills that they need to incorporate in their essays. So what is the focus for today's session? We are focusing on 2 pointers, as I said, because I want to give a very focused session here and not just overgeneralize. Is your introduction effective? So we are going to look at the introduction, how to write a nice introduction, because that's the beginning thing that you write in your essay, and that's going to make a great impact on your examiner. Then have you used a range of cohesive devices? So have you used a range of cohesive devices that makes your answer, coherent, well organized, and easy to understand? So this is the focus for today, right? Okay, so before we move ahead, now a little bit of information about my upcoming batch. So I'm just going to move ahead with my session, but I'll just take a few minutes to quickly apprise you of my upcoming batch. And so as you look here, my batch is going to begin on the 15th of March. So this is 15th of March. It's going to be Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. So it's 7 to 8, a 1 hour session in the evenings. So I'm sure, evening is a good time for everybody to study because you are free from your college, you come back from your work, and then after a piping hot coffee or tea, you can sit back and relax and attend my class with full attention. Well, so the timing is evening time, 7 to 8. Well, this is a 4-week course with me. So a 4-week course, which includes lots of classes, live sessions. So 20 hours of live sessions here with me. It covers all the 4 modules in 4 weeks. That is your reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And the added advantage is that you have a weekly mock test to track your progress. So it's very important to see how well you're progressing in your course. And for that, we have a weekly mock test, which is going to let you know where you stand. Along with that, you have this one-on-one speaking feedback sessions, because that's the only way you can make an improvement, by getting instant feedback on how you are speaking. You also have expert writing evaluations. Now, that's a very important thing. You need to be evaluated on your writing. So that's there as an additional USP of the course. Besides all this, you also have recorded sessions. You have recordings of all the live sessions, which you can have an access to all your, throughout your life. Well, this course is for 299. This is an IELTS Plus course with me, that's Shifa Nandi, starting 15th March at 7 o'clock in the evening. This course is for 299, but you all are my live audience, so you have the privilege of getting it free. You just have to use my code SN Live. It's there on the screen, everybody, for you to see. So it is SN Live. Use this code, and you should be able to join this course for free, completely free of cost. And you can use your mobile number to log in, and then from the range of courses, choose my course and use the code to join this course for free. All the students who've already joined with us and have already taken up a course, you can also use the code SN Live 20 to get a 20% discount on this 299. And that is only for those people who have already joined a course with us. But others, you all can use the code SN Live to get a free course. And if you've already used your phone number, you can use another one if you want to join a course with me. Okay, you can avail this facility with another phone number. Okay, I'm just pasting the link in the chat box. So I'm going to paste the link in the chat box, and yeah, this is the link that you can go to. You can go to this link and log in and then avail this free opportunity. Okay. There are some other batches as well. So let's just look at the next one. So you have lots of other batches. If my timing does not, so my batch is here. And but if you don't, if this time is not suitable to you, you can avail of any other batch using my code SN Live. Okay, so you can use SN Live, and I'll just type the code here. SN Live, use this code to avail the facility. Okay. And there are lots of batches. All educators are equally good. There are 9 batches which are starting in the coming week, starting from Monday to Wednesday. Monday, also we have lots of batches, Tuesday and Wednesday. My batch is starting on Tuesday, but if this time does not suit you, you can take up any other batch also. And you can use my code SN Live to get this course, any of these courses for free, right? Okay, now let's just move on with our session, and let's look at. So the first thing, now let's get back to where we were. Well, is your introduction effective? This is the first pointer that we are using. Yes, the code is there in the chat box. Please have a look at that, and you can join this course for free, as I said, using the code SN Live. Okay. Now, is the introduction effective? And that's very important. So we are going to look at the introduction. First of all, this pointer is coming up and the activity associated to that. Everybody ready to put on your thinking caps? Because you have to think a lot in these exercises. Ready? Very good. Great. I'm getting some wonderful answers here in the chat box, and lots of people are raising their hands as well. So identify the first activity for you all. Look at this. Identify the student's position. We all know that the introduction, you have to state your position with regard to the question. What is this? So in one of the pointers, we saw that the examiner is seeing that whether you have understood the question and what do you think about the question. That is your position. What do you think about the position, about the question is your position. Okay, so this is what the examiner is looking for. So now this is the question. First, let's understand the question. It's very important to understand the question. Although many countries are becoming richer, These societies have members who are poor and struggle to survive. Yes, have we understood the question? This is the prompt, right? This is the prompt here. This is the prompt. Now the question is, why do you think this happens and what can wealthy societies do to help their poorer citizens? Now, yes, Ankita, welcome to the session. And yes, you have missed out on a bit that I have done till now, but you have to, use the code Syed. Soumya, are you there? Could you just let them know how to use this SN Live?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So we are sharing the link in the chat box. Please click on the link. And after clicking on the link, you will see all the available batches. You have to select any one batch. And there you'll see the option apply promo code. Just write SN Live there and click on confirm seat. If you will not apply the code, you will not be able to get the batch for free. So please apply the code. It's very necessary.
Thank you, Soumya. Thank you so much for clarifying this for Syed and others. Yes. Okay. Yes, please, everybody do that because, it's important that you just avail this opportunity. You are my live audience, so do avail this opportunity of a free course. Okay, so back to the question here. Yes, Saira, it is SN Live. So although many countries are becoming richer, so let's just quickly understand, the question here. Okay. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly understand what are the important keywords in the prompt. It says countries becoming richer, but members who are poor and struggle to survive. So that means it's talking about rich countries. Oh, very good, Nashid. You've completed your registration. You've registered. Okay, great, great. Yeah, very good. You can use the link as Soumya's typing. Soumya's giving you hints on how to join the course. So please do keep a track. Okay, well, countries becoming rich, but the members are poor. Why do you think this happens? Now, what is the question? Why do you think this happens? And what can wealthy societies do to help their poorer citizens? Now, can anybody tell me, yes, despite the fact that the number of nations are getting wealthier, very good. So Preet has paraphrased the question. Okay, and she's talking about why others are telling me that okay, the question the prompt says that there are members who are poor. So what do you think, what two questions are there to be addressed? Which are the two questions that you need to address in this essay? One is why do you think this happens, and the other one, what can be? Very good. It's a problem solution kind of question. Karthik has answered this question very beautifully. He's told me that it's a problem solution. What is the problem here? The problem is countries becoming wealthier, but members are poor. And what is it that the question is asking you to tell? It is telling you why. That means what are the causes of this phenomena? And what is the second question that you need to address? What is the second question? What? Very good. What can you do? What can wealthy societies do to help their poorer citizens? Asking for a solution. Very good. You all have bang on there. Everybody understood the question. Yes. Now let's quickly understand. Yes. Now, the task for you here, everybody. Now, there's an activity coming up, so stay alert and be very, very quick to observe. Read this one. This is an opening paragraph to this question. Your job is to identify the student's position here and tell me what is it? How is the writer, the student, addressing these questions which are there in the task? Okay, the question is why and what. So now tell me, after reading, I give you 30 seconds to read this paragraph, silently read this paragraph, Okay, yes, Abhishek is moving ahead. Abhishek, let's just focus on this opening paragraph first of all. Let's just do the activity which is here. We will focus on the rest of the things later. Yeah, great, Abhishek. That's the right one, but let's just focus on the introduction. Members or citizens, it's one and the same thing, Prince. They are trying to use alternative words. Okay. Yes. Read the paragraph, the opening paragraph to this question. Yes, hello, Jasmeet. We started with the activity. Identify the position. Read the question carefully. All those people who've joined in late, read the question carefully. See what we have marked here as the two questions, the two parts of the question. And now read the first paragraph. I want you to identify the main idea or the position of the writer with regard to the question. Yes, Marianjali is telling me lack of vocabulary and cohesive devices. Marianjali, but we are not looking at cohesive devices and vocabulary at the moment. We are going to, yes, we are going to point out that, but I want you to first identify the position. First identify the position and tell me what is the position of this writer with regard to the question. Okay, Karthik says nothing is done for poor people. Karthik, is that the position? No hints of solution. Subhash says that. Okay. Synonyms should be used, paraphrase should be done. Okay, work has done, okay, by wealthy people, which has to be done. So one-way conversation. It's not mentioned what the essay is about. Yes, what is the problem with this essay? You all are very smart enough. Well, there are a lot of rich countries in the world whose members are poor and struggle to survive each day. It is hard for them to survive. They have no food and sometimes they cannot find anywhere to sleep. Right. So what is it that the person is talking about? He says, okay, there are a lot of rich countries in the world. Now, can you tell me what about all these lines here? What about all these lines here? These lines are an exact pickup from the question. There is no paraphrased version. What has the person done here? It's just how the people are struggling in rich countries and there is a lack of facilities to help them. Praveen, that is what, but has the person told us why do you think this happens? Has he told us explicitly about why it happens? Has he given reasons on why, this phenomena takes place? No, the writer has not given. Very good, Nisha. Yes, very good. The writer has not provided us with any kind of reasons here. And what can wealthy societies do? Are there any suggestions on what can wealthy societies do? Yes or no? Quickly type in the chat box. Do you think there are any suggestions on what can be done? Okay, no. Everybody says no. There's nothing here. Which are the lines which are copied here from the question? The first three lines are completely copied from the question. And what he's doing here, it is hard for them to survive. They have to look for food and sometimes they cannot find anywhere to sleep. Was there a need to write all this? No, this was redundant. When you've already mentioned that its survival is very difficult for such people, it automatically means that repetitively using words. Very good, Khaja. Yes. And then a very vague statement at the end. I think it is hard for them and sometimes nothing is done to help them. Well, is there any suggestion on what can be done? No. Okay, yes, Arshdeep also talks about the lack of connectors. Yes. So the opening paragraph, is this a good opening paragraph? Is it a well written opening paragraph? Will the examiner give you a high band on this? Yes or no? Okay, everybody is writing no. Certainly not. Certainly not. It sounds vague. Very good sign. Yeah, Arshdeep. For a higher band, certainly not this kind. Rather, you'll get a very low band for this one. Okay. Okay, great. Now let's move on and look at another another introduction paragraph on the same topic. Okay, well, on the same topic, let's just look at another. So what was it that we deduced from this one? That most of the words in the paragraph are copied from the question and there is no position, only a repetition of the task. So this is what we understand from our analysis of that opening paragraph. Now there's another opening paragraph on the same question. Look at this. This is activity number 2 for you. Look at this on the same topic, this paragraph on the same topic. Identify the position in this paragraph. Can you read this one? Why are there so many poor people in the world? This is a very good question, and I think the problem has many different root causes. People have to take some responsibility for their own welfare, but at the same time, some people cannot work for good reasons, so they need some support. Now, identify the position of the writer in this paragraph. First of all, what do you think about this paragraph? Is it a good paragraph? Is it a good paragraph? Write yes or no. Okay. Ankita says, gives a thumbs up. Sarika says yes. Sadhna also says yes. So many people are raising their hand and saying yes. Yes, Nisha, very good. Rahman, Sushant, very good. Sheetal. Everybody says certainly better than the first one. No? Okay, some of you think no. And yes, absolutely. It is okay to start. Tuhin is asking if it is okay to start with a question. It's absolutely okay to start with a rhetorical question. This is a rhetorical question. You can start with that. Okay, I mean, you can start with this kind of a question here. Why are there so many poor people in the world? This is a good question. And I think the problem has many different root causes. So now tell me, what is the position of this person with regard to the question that why does this happen? What is the reason for this phenomena? Can you tell me what is the reason for this phenomena according to the writer? What is the position with regard to the first question? There were two questions, right? Why this happens and then what can be done? So with regard to the first question, what is the position? What is the position? Yes, Marianjali, Tuhin, Apurva. What can be done? Yes, it is. No, what is the cause? What is the cause of this? Well, it says this one, the different root causes. So that means he's going to discuss about many root causes. So he says, I think the problem has many root causes. So that means he's just giving a hint that in his body paragraph, he's going to discuss about the various root causes of why. Yes, of course, Hadia Fatima is giving us a suggestion that maybe one of the root causes could be lack of education facilities, or maybe, the population lacks educational facilities. Yes, another thing could be, let's do some brainstorming. It could be corruption. The systems may be there, but the policies may be there, but they mean, yes, very good. Government policy may not be well defined. Very good. Supreet says, okay, yes, yeah. Okay, great. So many different root causes. So that means the author is going to discuss about, so the author is going to discuss about the many root causes. Isn't that so? So, and what about what can be done? What is he talking about? What can be done here? What can be done to improve the situation, to ameliorate the situation? According to the paragraph, can you find any suggestion? No, according to the opening paragraph. What is this? So that's what I said. You have to put on your thinking caps. Start thinking. It's thought-provoking activity. Okay, needs some support. Excellent. Navjot, you are bang on there. Talking about, how people need to be responsible for their own welfare. At the same time, there are some people who need support. Who could need support? What kind of people sometimes need support? The poor, of course, they are the ones, but then among the poor also people are able-bodied and they can take care of themselves. But then there are some who are very good, very good, very good. The physically challenged or could be the mentally challenged people who need support for good reasons. Isn't that so? Yes, yes, very good. You all are there. Very good. So now, excellent, excellent. So this is what the paragraph. So now it starts with a rhetorical question here. Yes, it starts with a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question, and then it moves on and says that I think the problem has many different root causes and people have to take some responsibility for their own welfare, but at the same time, some people cannot work for good reasons, so they need some support. So this is what we identified here, right? Let's look at, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, now, so what have we found out here? That what is the position of the writer? Many different root causes and then ways people can be responsible for themselves is one of the things that he's talking about as one of the suggestions. And he also says that there are some people who cannot do this. So that means he's going to figure out which are those people who cannot, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Yeah. Who are those people? So he'll go to some examples of the people who cannot do this for for some reasons, and then they are the ones who need support. So government should extend support to them. So this is the position with regard to the question. So this is certainly a very good opening paragraph because it is addressing both the tasks related to the question. What are the reasons? That means why this phenomena happens and what can be done about it. So this is where giving us a clear picture of what the author intends to write in the rest of the paragraphs. And we get a very clear picture in the opening paragraph itself. I'm not left wondering, am I left wondering, what the author is going to write about? No, I know that he's going to talk about many root causes. Maybe it could be related to corruption, systems there, but they are not used effectively. We could talk about, how people are lethargic on their own and they don't make any efforts or they become complacent. So he may talk about a different root causes, and then he may also talk about those people who certainly need a kind of support, and the government should extend some support to them to make sure that people improve, their lifestyle improves, right? And their life certainly improves. Okay, let's move on to the next activity. So this was about the opening paragraph. So what have we learned from here? That your position should be very clear and don't copy the words from the question, paraphrase. In this particular paragraph, did the person repeat the words? Yes or no? Did the person repeat the words from the question and copied all the sentences? Did he or did he not? No, he did not. So it's certainly a very well paraphrased, idea of the question. He paraphrased it by asking a rhetorical question and then moved on to write his position very clearly. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next slide and let's do some more activities. Okay. Now we are going to look at some cohesive devices, the activities related to cohesive devices also. So let's quickly look at the cohesive devices, the range of cohesive devices that need to be used. Now, next activity. Look at this paragraph and identify the cohesive devices in this paragraph. Yes. Most world cities were designed long before. Now, what is the topic here? Why cars should be banned in city centers? Now, this is the topic, and the person has written one paragraph. So this is an extract from a student essay, and we need to identify the cohesive devices here. So most world cities were designed long before the use of automobiles. So they were not meant. So now look at this. They were not meant to handle the large volumes of traffic so common today. The streets in the center of Mumbai, where I come from, are narrow. The traffic moves very slowly at rush hour. Jakarta and Bangkok are famous for their traffic jams, and a 10-kilometer journey can take up to 2 hours. Government looks for ways to reduce traffic jams. One way is to ban cars from entering city centers. Well, let me tell you, it's not a badly written paragraph, but there's something that you need to identify. And what is that? Cohesive devices. Yes. What are the cohesive devices here? Okay, Marianjali says no connection. Sana says no connections. Marianjali says where, and okay, these are the connectors. Yes, very good. Okay, Prince also says no cohesive devices, no linkers, no connectors. Yes, Karthik, Mrinal, very good, very good. So what happens to your paragraph when there are no connectors? There is a lack of cohesion. There's a lack of understanding. Suddenly, why this, Jakarta and Bangkok came up? So we don't know what is the reason for all this. Then in the end, so here, yes, of course, very good. So now, very good. You've all identified that very few linkers are used. What are the linkers used here? Lots of people told me, Marianjali told me it's and where. And what else? Any other linkers used here? No. Okay. Now let's look at the paragraph and see how we can make it better, cohesive, understandable, and beautiful. Okay, so that it can fetch us more than a band 7 in our writing. Now, this one says most world cities were designed long before the use of automobiles. Now, which is the linker that we use here? Let's look at this paragraph. Now we've added all the linkers, and we are going to see that how this paragraph becomes beautiful. It becomes cohesive, coherent, and understandable. Most world cities were designed long before the use of automobiles. So what have we added here? And so naturally, they were not meant to handle the large volumes of traffic so common today. Now, has the sentence improved? Yes or a no? Has the sentence improved? Yes, everybody, Tanveer, Supreet, Marianjali. Yeah, very good. So many people raised their hands and said, yes, 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 yeah. Okay, for instance, the streets in the center of Mumbai. Now he's quoting an example of his city. Where I come from are narrow and traffic. So he's linked together and traffic moves very slowly. Now he's particularly talking about the rush hour. So particularly is another linking word here, particularly at rush hour. Cities such as, now since Jakarta and Bangkok are some examples, so he says cities such as Jakarta and Bangkok are famous for their traffic jams. And in fact, a 10-kilometer journey can take up to 2 hours. Understandably, so now another linking word coming up here, governments look for ways to reduce traffic jams, and one way is to ban cars from city centers, from entering the city centers. Has this paragraph become more coherent and cohesive? Yes or a no? Yes. Yes, certainly, yes. Everybody's raising their hands and saying, yes, yes, it's become more coherent. Absolutely, yes. Deepika, very good. Kaja says, certainly it has become beautiful. Apurva also says, yes, ma'am, it's become beautiful. It's become coherent. So very good. Yes, Ajay, absolutely, yes. Yeah, certainly it's awesome now, Arun, because look at the linkers here. They are fitting in so beautifully. They're not out of place. They're all making sense. And it's made the paragraph into a nice, coherent, cohesive essay, which can certainly fetch you a high band, maybe up to 8 or more than 8. This is how a paragraph should be written. Right, so this was cohesive devices. Now let's look at the next slide, and we are going to practice using the linking devices. Linking words and expressions, activity number 4. Okay, let's first quickly have a look at the various linking devices on the screen so that you know which ones to use. For example, for instance, in fact, indeed. Then, of course, if this is or this were the case, firstly, for one thing, naturally, understandably. A good example of this is, for this is, or in my experience. Okay. Okay, now let's do an activity. All geared up for the last activity here? Yes? Okay, this is the question for you. Fill up the blank with any of the linkers present here. Try to use something from here in the red, written in red. The question says, it is impossible to predict what type of holidays people will be taking in 100 years' time. Okay, 100 years from now. So it is possible that space travel will be a realistic option in the future. Dash, it would completely transform our traditional view of a holiday. Okay. You have to use the linking words in the fill in the blanks question. Okay, the question is just giving you blanks. You need to fill up the linking words from the words that are given to you above in red. This is what the task for you is. This is what the activity is all about. Try to make this into a coherent, cohesive sentence by using the linking words to fill up the blanks. Okay, what does Prabjit say? So can we use apparently instead? Sorry, I can't read that one. So understandably. So, okay, everybody, now one question to you. First, tell me what is there in the first blank, because it will be very difficult to understand. Everybody is giving lots and lots of answers. Everybody is excited about the activity. First, tell me what it is possible dash. What will come here? Okay, Navish says, okay, for instance, very, very good. Okay, for instance, firstly, not really apt here, because we are talking about holidays, vacations, what type of vacations people will be taking in 100 years time. So space travel, what is space travel? An example of the kind of holidays people will be taking in 100 years time. So what is it? Yes, certain. So what else apart from, for instance? Yes. In my experience, it is possible. In my experience, no, Yashi, we have not experienced space travel as a summer vacation, have we? No, so we will not be able to use that. Indeed, understandable. It is possible. Yeah, your linker has to make sense. So yes, for instance, for example, is a good linking word. A good example of this we can't use here, because for that, then we need to start the sentence with that. Okay, so it will only be for examples. So, okay, let's just put this here. Okay, let's just put this here. It is a good, so for instance, we can say, for instance, right? So we would say, for instance, okay, it is possible, for instance, that space travel will be a realistic option in the future. Dash, it would completely transform our traditional view of a holiday. Quickly, what is it? It would. Take note of the language here. What do you think? Okay, people are saying, of course, indeed, it would. Okay, naturally, it would. Understandably, it would completely transform. Yes, understandably can be used. Naturally, it would okay, it would completely transform. Naturally, also you can use to some extent, but the most appropriate here would be something that you've missed out on. If this were the case, okay, if this were the case, that means if this were the case, it would completely transform our traditional view of a holiday. Understand the question that we're talking about 100 years time from now. We don't know what's going to happen in 100 years. So it's very important that we understand the sentence here, that yes, if this were to happen, or if this were the case, it would completely transform our traditional view of a holiday. Do you understand? It's so important to use the right kind of cohesive devices to make sense out of the sentence. We need to pay attention to the rest of the lines also. Was it thought-provoking? If it would be the case, if this would be the case, it would. Yes, you can write that. You can write that, Ankita, that if this were the case is more appropriate. You know, you can also use, if this would be the case, it would completely transform our traditional view of a holiday. That also can be written. Okay. Yes. Was it thought-provoking, this one? Yes. Okay. let's have okay, so I hope this session has been quite useful to you. Now, how can I just forget, the tips? I do have to give you the tips as well. But before that, a quick reminder that you can join my code SN Live to get a free course, the IELTS Plus 4-week course, which is going to start on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And my name is Shifa Nandi. This class is going to be from Monday to Friday, and you're going to get all this would be covered in the session. So this is a quick reminder for you all. And the link is there in the chat box. So we have pasted the link so that link is there. Please join this link and then use the code spot my batch. If not my batch, you can choose any other batch as well, that whatever suits you, and you can use the code SN Live to get all this course for free. And thank you so much, Nasheed. And thank you others. Everybody is saying that the session was a good one. It was an interactive one. And you all are eager to join my classes. I'm looking forward to the upcoming classes. I'm really very happy. I too enjoyed thoroughly such an interactive audience, so much participation from you all. So wonderful here. Wonderful, everybody. Thank you so much. But yes, how can we just forget the tips, the takeaway from this session? So let's just quickly, look at the test tips. So what is it that we learned here? Your position is very important to the content of your answer. So make sure that your position is clearly written in the introduction, and don't copy the words from the question. You need to paraphrase. If the examiner doesn't find a clear position in the answer, you're going to lose marks. So be very careful. The next tip, it's important to show to the examiner that you can link your ideas together to be coherent and cohesive. So use a lot of linking devices, and you need to show to the examiner that you can signpost your ideas so that it's easy to follow your arguments. So, well, thank you all. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. So take care, take good care of yourself, and stay blessed. Thank you all. Looking forward to having you all in my class on Tuesday. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so touched that everybody is talking about how useful the session was, and that was the purpose of the session. Okay, thank you all.